Hi, everybody. Hi. So we came all the way from Europe to speak about the last topic of conversation of the day. The one you've been waiting for, I know. VAT and the custom procedures that goes with it in the med. You are okay, I know. So hopefully, by the end of the session, we'll make it a little bit clearer, or not. We'll see. My name is Chris, so my company is EasyTax, based in Nice, France. So we do fiscal representation, so we do all the accounting for the owning companies of the yachts that comes to France to do chartering, and we look after all the VAT matters on the charters mainly. And we're part of a brokerage house, a brokerage custom house, so we can do custom formalities, importation, exportation, etc.
My name is Alex, and I'm the director of a company called Tax Marine. I'm based in Barcelona, Spain, and we are part of the network with EasyTax, providing the same kind of services for yachts, which intend to charter in Spanish waters. So we help in all the process of getting licensed, import, exports, this kind of procedures.
But if you send a boat over for a charter in the Meds, you have to ask yourself a question: what about the VAT at one stage, and where do I pay it, and at what rate? So there's two questions. First one, where do I pay it? There's two rules. First one, easy. If you start a charter in a European country, so in France, for example, you pay the VAT in France following French rules. If you start in Italy, you do the same, but in Italy you follow Italian rules at the Italian rates, and therefore the boat needs a VAT number. It doesn't matter if after you exit the EU, if you do Italy and then you stop in Montenegro and you go back after in Croatia, it doesn't matter. You pay the VAT where you started because you started in an EU country, so you pay the VAT in Italy. That's where you started. The second scenario is what happens if I start outside of the EU, like in Montenegro, for example, or Albania. Now there's a lot of charters starting there, or Turkey. There's no European VAT where you start, obviously, but when you come in the EU, you pay the VAT on the time you spent throughout the different territorial waters. Again, it depends on the country. So if you start in Montenegro and you go to Croatia, you spend 2 days in Croatia, you pay 2 days worth of VAT at the Croatian rate. If you finish after in Italy, you pay Italian VAT on the time you spent in the Italian waters. Not all the countries apply this rule. Most of them in the Meds. Spain, you'll tell us more about it, but France didn't. So if after going to Italy you end up in France, there won't be any VAT, French VAT, to pay on that specific scenario.
In terms of Europe, we must consider that there are parts of the European territory which are not part of the customs or the VAT territory, and that might bring different scenarios in terms of chartering or implications in terms of customs formalities. For instance, there are basically two main rules which applies all across Europe. One for import and export formalities is the customs regulations, which would determine it's applicable all across Europe the same way in principle. And then we have the VAT Directive, which determines what are the rules applicable on charters, which these are implemented into the different member states in a different way, which is the reason why taxation might differ from one member state to another, right? What's the situation in Spain? As in the rest of countries, any yacht which intends to charter in Europe has to open a VAT position in that specific country in order to collect VAT from charterers and pay it to the relevant tax authority of the country where the charter is starting, right? For the specific case of Spain, the applicable VAT rate, it's 21%. It's a flat VAT rate with no reductions, as it might happen in Italy or in France. And the procedure to register is pretty straightforward. Basically, it consists, as I said, to open a VAT registration position. Then the situation in Spain was that until 2013, the jurisdiction was closed for superyacht charters because we had tax applicable on the value of the yacht at 12%. This was removed or it was amended 2013. So the second step in order to charter in Spanish waters would consist to apply on this tax relief. And later on, in order to charter in Spain, it is necessary to get a authorization or a permit from the maritime authorities, which basically consists on a compliance procedure and go through all the paperwork of the yacht and crew in order to determine that the yacht is eligible for to carry out commercial charters in Spain.